do you want a beautiful lie? Do you really want to know the truth? Can you handle the truth? That scene, right, in that movie, right? You can't handle the
A Few
truth.
Good Men, yeah. Well, and I think that when you ask someone a question, you have to be willing to hear the truth. Like, don't ask someone a question
Say it for the people in the back.
that you don't want to hear the truth
What?
of, the true answer to.
What?
Like, you have to be mentally and emotionally prepared for the truth if you're asking for the truth, because I want your trust. I want us to move forward. I don't want to live a lie. I want to be able to come to the table naked and unashamed.
Well, hey, I'm Bishop.
And I'm Dr. Steph.
And thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Couple of Destiny.
Our life, our journey, our truth.
Yes, and we're so excited to have you, as we are every single week. We say it over and over again because it touches us deeply that you are connected. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate all of you so much that support this channel. And while you're here, make sure that you like, make sure you comment.
Make sure you subscribe and share with your friends and family.
There it is, because that helps us to build this community with you in mind. And we'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts. And also, on our social media platforms, it's important that you follow, connect with Dr. Steph at Dr. Steph Walker, connect with me at Joseph Walker 3. We just want to be there for you and support you, and we appreciate you so much, amen, just for being connected in this space. And of course, if you go to josephwalker3.org, you can get our book, Couple of Destiny. I promise you, it'll bless you. Becoming a Couple of Destiny. That book, I tell you, our heart and soul's in that book, and I promise you it'll bless you. And also check out my latest book, Pursuit of Purpose, Peace. Peace, and boy, oh boy, God's doing great things with that one. Hope you get it, josephwalker3.org or wherever books are sold. So I appreciate you so much, and thank you for just tuning in today. Now listen, I'm gonna put it this way, babe. Do you want a beautiful lie or the ugly truth?
Well, you already know what the answer is for me.
For you, yeah. But for you, like, do you want a beautiful lie? Do you really want to know the truth? Can you handle the truth? That scene, right, in that movie, right? You can't handle the truth.
A Few Good Men, yeah.
Yeah, A Few Good Men. And the reality is, let me just throw it out there. I talk to a lot of people who really have learned how to craft beautiful lies, and they
want to
do it.
live in that
They want to
fake comfort zone.
Yes, because they feel the truth would cost them too much.
Yeah.
And that's a legitimate concern. We're not gonna say they're horrible people saying that. Like, it's like, that could be even a minor thing. Like, if I told this person the truth, it might send them off the deep end versus, oh, it's fine, I'm good. And that, so you live in this pseudo reality, right? You live in this space where you're denying your significant other, your spouse, or whomever, the truth about what you really feel, because you've begun to add up the consequences of sharing that truth, and you just decide it's best to just, well, if I don't say anything, maybe that's better than saying something.
But the unfortunate part of that is once you start living in the lie, you have to continue it. And it becomes harder and harder and more convoluted and more convoluted. And eventually it doesn't make sense, right? Like, it's one story, then another story to make sure it covers up that story, to connect to the last story. And
It's
then
exhausting.
sometimes you forget, and then you have to say, oh yeah, well, that's not what I meant. I actually meant this, this, and this, because you had to remember what you said last week, and then the week before that, and eventually it's 2 years later, and you created this false identity, almost this other false way of living and thinking and speaking and saying, to now you're in this hole. Like, how do you get out?
Yeah, I think getting out of it, I think it's just acknowledging, like, being honest about, it was difficult to share that truth because I didn't want somebody to say, I didn't want to lose you. Or I didn't know if you had the capacity to handle it without me living paying for it for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
Right. And that's real. Like
Yeah,
I've
I
talked to
can
people
see
like, man,
that.
I don't
Yeah.
want to, like, if it's going to constantly come up. I got to so I'm living in this space. Is it easier to live in this pseudo, as you call it, pseudo reality? At
Mhm.
least I got peace there. It may be
Mhm.
an internal torment, me having to craft these lies, but at least I have peace with you. The moment I tell you the truth about something, now I've got to calculate. Now every
The
holiday,
atomic bomb is going off. Yeah.
how many years? It's like, oh my God! Every time you say we need to talk, I'm like, oh Jesus. So it's like I shouldn't have said nothing. So that part is real. And how do you get to a point where you're able to say, how can I, get to this place of truth with my significant other where we live in this space?
Yeah, I definitely can see that and understand that, especially if it comes to like something extreme, like
Yeah,
infidelity or
yeah,
like,
yeah.
something that you never disclosed to your spouse previous to become, being married or
Yeah.
getting together, and you're afraid. It's almost like you don't trust that they love you enough to love you through your truth.
Ooh,
Does that make
ooh,
sense?
ooh, that's deep.
Like,
That's
and
deep. That's deep.
figuring out how to get to that place of mutual respect, love, and trust. And on the flip side, being the type of person, friend, spouse, significant
Yes.
other that creates a safe space for the person to feel like they can have difficult conversations without necessarily, and not say not without consequence, there's always consequences to
Yes.
the conversation, but without the constant retribution or
Mm,
like beat down, like mentally, emotionally, of continuously feeling like you have to bring this up. Okay, the trust is broken and we have to move on. We have to go to therapy and da 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 da. But the opposite, the other answer was for me to not tell you. And that could have been an easy answer, but I'm choosing the hard route because I want your trust. I want us to move forward. I don't want to live a lie. I want to be able to come to the table naked and unashamed. Even though I'm sharing this shame, I want to be able to live the rest of my life knowing that there's nothing else that you don't know about me, if that makes sense.
wow. That idea of a safe space though, that's real. That is very real. Like when a person feels like I am safe, my truth is safe here.
Hmm.
That is that whole naked and unashamed
Unashamed.
part, I believe, in the Bible talks about in Genesis 2 that Adam and Eve had. That's the
Hmm.
idea of just genuine, authenticity
Yeah.
and that. I think a lot of layers of stuff
Yeah.
that, we're predisposed to how somebody might respond, or we may say they can't do this. And it translates even to other small things that are not as,
Yeah, heinous. Well,
yeah,
and I would even say it translates into just existence, not even relationships, right? Because you think that we live in a very um, Instagram
yeah,
world,
facts.
right? And when you're saying you're living in this false truth or a beautiful truth or a
Beautiful lie.
beautiful lie,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
as opposed to the ugly truth, frequently people will show something and uh, live out in the world something that's not true
Yeah.
because that's the perception that they want people to have of them, right? But they're dying on the inside and they're struggling with life and they're so as opposed to showing that
That's good.
authentic side of
That's
them,
good.
and it's not about telling everybody your business, but showing the imperfections and the mistakes and part of the struggle, you might actually get some empathy and help and assistance, and find your people, the people who can connect and
That's real.
can look at you eye to eye and say, look, you're not in this by yourself. You can find your community by sharing, as opposed to being willing to do that. You'd rather live in this beautiful lie.
Wow.
But the problem becomes the only person that ends up missing out in those situations, unlike romantic relationships, is you. You're the only person that's missing out because you're missing out on life, community, support system that you could be getting if you were willing to share your truth, as opposed to trying to live up to these imaginary expectations that you think that people have around you.
You know, it's easy to talk about the person who's wrestling with whether to tell the truth or not.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about the person who's on the receiving end of it.
Yeah.
What can they do to help the person who may be struggling with that? Because my sense is they know, right? And so
Frequently they know,
and
yeah.
how do they? What can they do to help that person work through that to make that safe space? Because the person's just not going to wake up one day and say, "Oh, this is safe." The person has to have some assurance, something that the other person is willing to do to help make that person feel safe.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a difficult question because I think sometimes you don't know that you're not creating a safe space. Right?
Yeah.
Like you think I'm here, right? You know, like if I'm still here, that should tell you something, right?
Stuff. That should be enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think helping one conversation, basically communication. I think helping people or being willing to go to therapy as opposed to just sending someone by themselves, being willing to be a partner in therapy with that person so they have another to walk them through.
Yeah.
I think starting small with difficult conversations that don't have significant consequences and letting that person almost practice having those difficult conversations with you that don't have severe consequence. I know I just said that, I'm repeating myself, but I think that it's difficult to get someone who is hiding something big, right? To just be like, blah, you know, today I'm going to share, you know, everything that's in my, you know, baggage, you know, because that just doesn't happen. You know, I feel like that kind of trust is earned over time.
That's good. At that part,
That kind of transparency, you grow into that level of being willing to be transparent. It doesn't happen overnight. So I think it's a difficult question, something to aim for. However, you know, even just having the conversation, look, at the end of the day, I know there's something going on. I want you to know that I'm not going anywhere. Like, but I do need to know so that we can move forward. Like at the end of the day, like I want you to be able to trust me to know that I'm here for it. Like I love you enough for us to walk through this. I love you enough to basically help you help yourself.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, it takes a great deal of maturity.
It does take a lot of maturity.
And spiritual, you know, foundation.
Because that hasn't always been the case.
Oh, God, no.
No,
Oh, God, no.
It takes a lot of growth on both sides.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, one of the things that I lighten this up a little bit, one of the things I found interesting, I remember going to a conference once, and I remember the presenter saying, okay, now listen, you know, every husband's going to go through this quagmire, if you will, right? The wife's going to come in one day and say, honey, do I look okay? Now, if she doesn't, in his mind, he's got to reconcile. What am I going to say? If he says nothing, she's going to say, babe, what's up? He says, well, hon, the truth is that you don't look good in that. It could essentially break her heart. She can just, I'm not gonna go, I don't feel like, or the beautiful lie is, babe, you know what? You look amazing. And oh my God, yeah, it's a beautiful lie. So, and I'm making light of this, but the reality is that is something that really happens, like that, and it's semantics. Would you not agree?
Well, and I think that when you ask someone a question, you have to be willing to hear the truth. Like, don't ask someone a question
Say it for the people in the back
that you don't want to hear the truth.
What?
The true answer to.
What?
Like, you have to be mentally and emotionally prepared for the truth if you're asking for the truth. Don't tell me you want the truth, and then when I give it
to you, then you're mad at me.
You turn into Hiroshima and you know, I mean, that doesn't add up, and then that erodes trust further because
I'm never gonna.
You know, I trusted this process that is already difficult. I didn't want to do it, but I did. And now look at the result. So I'm never going to open up like that ever again. And now you just shut the door completely in terms of transparency and openness and honesty.
That's real. And I think that, guys, it's like, one of the things I'll tell you is that it's exhausting to not be in a place of truth. It's exhausting. And I think that the Bible meant this. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Truth liberates. It's liberating to be in a place of truth. You're like, you know what? I have nothing to hide. This is it. And I think that when you mature and you grow in your relationship, and it's little steps, it's baby steps, but eventually you'll get there. And I'm suggesting, I'm not telling you now, look at this episode, go get all your baggage and just pour it out in the middle of the floor, because they're gonna leave. They can't take it. It's too much at one time. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna be like, oh, hell,
don't
no.
Tell them that.
They're gonna leave. Don't do it. www.don'tdoit.com. Listen to me, I'm telling you, don't do that. Don't do that. And some of that stuff is not even consequential, right? Some of it is not even.
I think it depends.
It depends, but some of it isn't.
I think it depends on what your significant other desires.
Yeah.
Because it's know thyself. Some people don't want to know, and they'll tell you, I don't want to know. Yeah. Like, if it doesn't have anything to do with the here and now or moving forward, I don't want to know. Yeah. So don't tell them, because they don't want to know. Yeah. But if someone is looking in your face and saying that I want to know, then you owe them the truth, and to be able to give them the opportunity to decide, right? And it works. And let me just bear with me for a second. It works both ways, right? Because you don't want to be with someone who's not going to love you through your mess. You do not want to be with someone who's not going to love you through your mess, right? And so if you're trying to figure out if this is the right person for you, with time, trust is built so that you can share your mess in terms of the beautiful you that you are and all of your imperfections. And if that person can't handle who you are and the mistakes that you've made, imagine the 100 other mistakes that you're probably going to make in your life and not being able to walk with you through those mistakes and you with them. It's not worth it, right? And so I would argue differently. Like, if they are asking you for the truth, you need that soil and you figure out how to get to this safe space and this, you prepare the soil to have this difficult conversation, but you have the conversation, because if they are worth their weight in salt, then they will walk with you through the trials and the tribulations that you're sharing. Clearly, if you're just doing the do here and there and everywhere, that's a different story. However, if you have something in your past and you feel like this is hindering you from moving forward in your future, or this is a significant part of who you are and why you are the way you are, or what your triggers are and all that, like, this person needs to know, because you want somebody who chooses you, all of you, not just the pretty version of you. You don't want someone who is wanting you because of your perfection. Yeah. You want somebody who wants you in spite of all the things that are not so pretty that you bring to the table. That's real love. That's a real relationship. You don't want all this pretty, fake, whatever, because it will not last anyway, and it's a waste of time. And so I would argue differently.
You argued your case. Y'all heard that, right? And listen, hey, say less. You said it.
Because I want to know, like, give me the opportunity to choose, because if I choose, get this, then I don't have a right to complain later, because I chose it. Wow. I know the path that I am getting ready to walk because I chose it, right? Versus if you don't give me the choice when you tell me, then I'm livid because you didn't, one, trust me enough to love you the way that you needed to be loved. You didn't trust me. And then you didn't give me the choice to say, yes, I want to deal with this for the rest of my life, or no, I do not. It's not fair. And I urge you to have those difficult conversations. If what's for you is for you. And if that person is for you, then that person will be there. And if that person is not for you, they won't be there. Sometimes I might need to step away, take a deep breath, figure out their mental state given the new information, and come back. But it doesn't mean to withhold information.
Bars. I keep telling y'all, man, this girl here, she dropping bars. Hey, that's well said, babe.
Thank you, babe.
Thank you so
I love
much.
you.
Can I tell you something?
What?
Y'all hitting it live right here. So, baby, I can cook.
I know, and I tried to kill him when I found out. It took him
See
10
what I mean?
years
See what I mean?
to tell me that he knew how to cook, right? I'm running back and forth to the hospital on call for 2.5 days, coming in the house, tired, thinking my husband is starving, and he's sitting on the couch letting me think he's starving. I'm cooking, he's half eaten because I'm tired and I'm cooking, and then I look up, 10 years later, he's making breakfast, and I woke up to pancakes and sausage and eggs and this beautiful display, and I'm walking in, I'm all happy, like, yeah, look at this. And then I said, wait a minute, who made this? You made that? He was like, yes, honey, I can cook, I can. And at first, for like 2 seconds, I was elated. I was like, oh my gosh.
She got her feelings after that.
I was like, wait a minute.
Oh my God. Pancakes and
Started
pound.
rolling back.
Pancakes and pound. We call that day pancakes and pound.
Yes.
But no, that
My
was
baby
fun.
can burn, he can throw down.
You gotta believe it, that Louisiana boy. You hear me, baby? Nah, just kidding. No, man, but listen, I hope this has blessed you guys, man. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's all about, man, just come to that place. Do you want that beautiful lie, or you want the ugly truth? That's what it's all about. And I'll take the truth every day, babe. I tell you, I know that's right. So, hey, I thank y'all so much. Make sure, again, you follow Dr. Steph. Follow me. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe and share, all that good stuff. Thank y'all. And let us know in the comment section. Like, I know this is a pretty interesting topic, and I hope that you're able to kind of let us know your thoughts on it, your questions, and what have you. We appreciate you so much. And until next time, we thank God for you. I'm Bishop.
And I'm Dr. Steph.
Peace out. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode and it was impactful to you, make sure you subscribe.
And if you're interested in more videos like this, go ahead and check out this one.